Thank you. Namaste to all. We are extremely blessed to have Swami Sarvapriyanandaji Maharaj today. That is, weather doesn't matter, Swami travel doesn't matter, and even though he extensively travels, and he takes his time to come to our center every alternate months. And so today is a very auspicious day, and there is no need to introduce about Swami to all of you, but there are some newcomers, but definitely I just want to say a few words about Swami before inviting Swami to start his session. Swami Sarvapriyanandaji Maharaj has been minister and spiritual leader of Vedanta Society of New York since January 2017. He joined the Ramakrishna Mutt in 1994 and received sannyasa in 2004. Swami served as an acharya, means teacher, of the Monastic Professionals Training Center at Bedurman, India. Swami also served in various capacities in different educational institutes of Ramakrishna Mission in India and as the Assistant Minister of Vedanta Society of Southern California. During 2019-2020, Swami was an inaugural fellow at the Harvard Divinity School. Swami is a well-known speaker on Vedanta and his talks are extremely popular globally via the internet. Swami has been a speaker on various prestigious forums such as TEDx, SAND, Google Talk, etc. Swami has also been invited to speak at several universities across the world, including Harvard. Swami has engaged in dialogue with many eminent thinkers such as Deepak Chopra, Rupert Sipra, Rick Archer, David Chalmers, and Sam Harris. Swami played a prominent role in organizing and participating in various interfaith panels and seminars, including speaking at the World Parliament of Religions in Toronto in 2018 and at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Some of Swami's popular talks have been compiled into ebooks. Who Am I? What is Vedanta? And Dissolve into Infinity are currently available in Amazon Kindle. We can go on talking, but I just want to stop here. And today, Swami will be giving a discourse on Nectar of Supreme Knowledge. This is the series he has been conducting for the last several sessions. Swami will continue on that. And with that small introduction, I would like to invite Swami to give this discourse. Thank you. Welcome, Swami.
Is he going to be quiet?
Yeah.
And is he going to be quiet? Otherwise, it's off to that room with you.
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness unto light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste and good afternoon. Good to see you all. Many known faces, some new ones. So in this series of talks, we have been using this book, The Nectar of Supreme Knowledge. This is a selection from a much bigger book. There is this classic of Vedanta called Yoga Vashishta. There's more than 30,000 books, a very ancient text and a vast text. At some point, a monk who is unknown made a selection from those 30,000 plus verses into just over a smaller book of about 200 verses. The deepest philosophical and spiritual teachings, left out all the stories, a lot of interesting stuff, but the core teachings preserved in just over 200 verses, and we get this book, the Yoga Vashishta Sar, the essence of Yoga Vashishta. The name Yoga Vashishta is easily explained. The sage Vashishta. So the story goes that the prince Ramachandra, who is the son of the king of Ayodhya, Dasharatha. Now, he studied Vedanta and lost all interest in becoming the king and all his duties, and wanted to become enlightened and give up everything and practice meditation and become enlightened. The king was worried, of course. Who's going to run the kingdom? Who, if he gives up, he doesn't, accept his responsibilities, which is kind of ironic. Those who know the story of Ramayana, you know what happened later. It was the same king who exiled his son. But anyway, the story goes that he engaged the sage Vasishta. Could you please talk to the boy, talk to the prince, and convince him to do his duties, and to be responsible, and not just give everything up and go off to the Himalayas and become a mendicant, a hermit or something seeking enlightenment. And so Vasishta goes to Ramachandra and asks him, so it's great that you want to become enlightened, but that Brahman, that ultimate reality you are seeking, the real nature of the self, is it other than this word? Is this word other than that? I mean, obviously the answer must be no, because if you're seeking reality, then whatever is real in this world must be that reality too. There can't be two ultimate realities. So this world that you want to give up, that reality which you are seeking, is right here in this world too, right? And so he taught Vedanta to Ramachandra, and finally the story is that Ramachandra came around, and then the rest of the Ramayana flows from there. But it's especially useful for householders, people who have families and jobs, and you can't throw everything away and be off to the Himalayas or the Rockies or something and become a hermit for the rest of your life. In this world, in the midst of all activities, how can we be spiritual? And spiritual in the highest sense, in the sense of realizing the non-dual Brahman, the absolute reality of ourselves. The teaching of Advaita Vedanta, that you are that Tattvamasi. How do we realize that in the midst of everything else? I'm reminded of, I mentioned this earlier, I think, so my own experience. At one point, even the monastery, I'd run away to become a monk. Even the monastery was not enough for me. I wanted to be in the Himalayas and living by myself, begging for food and staying in a hut and meditating and studying. No connection with the world. And I did that. And it was wonderful, very beneficial. I felt it was great. When I was coming back to our monastery, which is in Calcutta, I was still in the Himalayas in Uttarkashi. I remember one day, and we have the daily round of begging for food, and then it's not what you might imagine, going from house to house and begging. It's in Uttarkashi and other places. There are places where monks are given food, so you just have to turn up there, and if you're a monk, they'll feed you. In the afternoon, I was sitting down and reading. And Vivekananda says, so this is the background. You can see why it was especially stunning for me. Vivekananda says, he who runs away to meditate and die in a Himalayan cave has missed the way. That's exactly what I've been doing. He says, I sat up on my bed. I thought, oh God, that's me. And then next, he goes on to say, he who plunges into the foolishnesses, the luxuries and vanities of the world, he too has missed the way. Now that is very interesting. We think it's a binary, Either you have to be in this world, engaged in this world, or you have to give up everything and, be by yourself, be a all-renouncing monk on a Himalayan peak. If both have missed the way, then what is the way? Either you are here in this world, or you are away from everything else. Then what is the way? Then Vivekananda goes on to say, the way is to divinize life itself. It is to see the divinity, to see God in everything, in those you are with, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. Because if Vedanta is at all true, that divinity is to be found here itself. If it is to be found, it's also found on the Himalayan heights. But those who have found it here will find it there. Those who have not found it here will not find it there. Sri Ramakrishna in Bengali, he put it very, very briefly and succinctly. Jar hetai ache, tar shethayo ache. Jar hetai nahi, tar shethayo nahi. Those who find it here, they will find it there also. Those who don't find it here will not find it there also. It's our innermost reality. When you realize that within yourself, wherever you are there. So that reality is always it's obvious there. That is the central message of Vedanta. And what I've been doing is not only these 200 verses. By the way, we have a very beautiful English translation of it, thanks to Swami Sarvapriyanandaji. This book. It's now. What happened was the original book, Yoga Vasishta Sara. It's a compilation of the Sanskrit verses, original Sanskrit verses. It was translated into Bengali by Swami Dhireshanandaji, a very senior monk of our order who has passed since. But I was unable to use it here because there's no usable English, there's no English translation actually of that concise yoga, the essence of Yoga Vasishta. But now there is, thanks to Swami Sarvadevanji, and that's what we have been studying. Not verse by verse, there's no time for that because we have only a class once every other month. So what I do is I take up 1 or 2 verses from each chapter. Today, we are going to go to chapter 6. Chapter 6. In a certain sense, this is my favorite chapter. If you force me to say which is your favorite chapter, it would be chapter 6. It's a reflection on the real nature of the self, on what I am. In Sanskrit, the name of the chapter is Atma Mananam, a reflection on oneself, on our true nature, reflection on the self. And in this chapter, I was just thinking today, I'll have time today to just do one verse, the first verse. But all of the verses are really, really beautiful in this chapter. We'll do one verse, but we'll dwell upon it. And really, it's no loss because the message is always the same. In Vedanta, there's only one message. It can be expressed very briefly. You are that, Tattvamasi. And that's said in 100 ways, in 1,000 different ways. It's pointed out to us. All right. Let's go straight into the verse. Those who have the book, you can see the verse. It's chapter 6, verse 1. Let me chant it. And we will explore this verse, and then there'll be question answers. So if you have questions, remember them or note them down and hold on till the Q&A session. Verse 1, chapter 6. Shuddha niranjano nanto bodhoham prakrite paraha cheshtamana imam deham paschamyanya shariravat. I am of the essential nature of knowledge, pure, stainless, infinite, and beyond Maya. Due to the unreal and illusory relationship with my body, in the public view, I seem to be engaged in different activities, but I see this body as separate, as if we're someone else's. Okay, that's basically the verse. Now, let's dive into it. Shuddha, pure, niranjana. Again, pure, but we'll dwell a lot on this verse, on this word. Niranjana, the Sanskrit word Niranjana literally means without anjan. Anjana literally means stain, a taint, a stain. But it refers here to Maya. It refers to that, the lens of Maya through which the infinite appears as the finite. Pure consciousness appears as this world of subject and object. That which is spirit appears as a material universe. That lens, the lens of Maya, that's what's called an Anjana here. Pure, beyond the Anjana, beyond Maya, Niranjana. Ananta, limitless, infinite. Bodhoaham, consciousness I am. Consciousness I am. Prakriti paraha, forever beyond material nature. Cheshtamana imam deham pashyami anya sharirava. This body, full of activities, dynamic, but I always look upon it as, just like as we look at other people's bodies, I look upon this body also as that. Now, there is a way of unpacking this verse. We are doing verse number 1, chapter 6. Chapter 6, verse number 1. There's a way of unpacking this verse. You start with Bodho Aham. I am consciousness. I am awareness. The essence of Vedanta can be expressed very simply. The underlying, the DNA, the inner code of Vedanta it's this. I'll present it in, say, 1 minute. Whatever we are aware of, whatever we are conscious of, that we are not. This one line itself is enough to unpack the whole of Vedanta. Whatever you are aware of, that you are not. You are aware of the world. Aware of means whatever you can see, hear, smell, taste, touch, whatever you can, by extension, think about, speak about, whatever you can imagine, whatever we can dream of. Whatever is an object to consciousness, that we are not. Anything that we are aware of, that we are not. If you are aware of it, it's a thing. It's an object. By definition, if we are aware of it, it's an object, something that you are aware of. You're aware of the world, you're not the world. But most interestingly, we are aware of the body. We're clearly aware of the body. I can see the body, I can touch the body, I can smell the body, I can taste the body. If your tummy is rumbling, you can hear the body. And if you're in deep meditation in a very quiet place, you can even hear the pulse beating in your veins. So the body is an object to me. As much as this is an object, the body is also an object to me. Whatever I am aware of, that I am not. I am aware of the body. Therefore, I am not the body. You're not saying that the body is not there. The body is there. Very clearly it's there. Just as this is there, the body is also there. I'm not the body because I'm aware of it. Someone might say, if you hit the table, I don't feel it. But if you hit my body, I feel it. How can you say I'm not the body? Do you feel it, the pain in the body when somebody pinches? Yes, I feel it. If you feel the pain in the body, you're aware of the pain in the body, then the pain also is an object because you're aware of it. By definition, whatever we are aware of is an object. The pain is an object. As much as the body is an object, the pain is an object. If the pain is an object, neither you are the pain, nor is the pain yours. It's an object appearing in you. It's an object appearing to consciousness. Again, all of this is just literally true. Philosophers call it a phenomenological description, a description of how things appear to us. Pain appears to us, very much so. By the same metric, by the same standard, our thoughts, our ideas, our memories, they are also objects because we are aware of our thoughts. That's what's called introspection. We can look into us and we can be aware of our thoughts. Our own feelings, we are aware of our feelings. We are aware of our emotions. All of them are objects. Not only the body is an object, but the mind, our thoughts and feelings and emotions, they are objects too. And therefore, even more stunning, not only am I not the body, I am not the mind too. Whatever you are aware of, that you are not. Even these ideas, philosophy, religion, spirituality, all of these are intellectual, are in the intellect, are ideas. They are also objects, subtle objects, but they are also objects. They are objects to me. Suppose you take all objects away. The world disappears. Fall asleep, the world disappears. You're not aware of the body. Mind stops functioning. You're not aware of the mind. All of it disappears. This blankness, which is presented to you in absolute absence, this absence also is an object. All objects are presented to awareness, and the absence of objects is also presented to you, the awareness. So, whatever we are aware of, we are not that. Then what am I? Before this analysis starts, we are very clear what I am. And I'm the body, that's very clear. I'm made of flesh and blood and bones. Or I am the mind, I'm an embodied person, I'm a person. I have a physical side and an emotional side and a mental side and a memory. But if all of them are objects and I am not any of them, then what am I? Then what am I? Clearly, two things. One is I exist. That cannot be denied. We have mentioned this many times. The Descartes found this out, that cogito ergo sum. The one thing that cannot be doubted is my own existence. So I do exist. Even if I'm not the body, even if I'm not the mind, I do exist. And I'm aware, this much is sure. I'm aware of the world, I'm aware of the body, I'm aware of the mind. In fact, through the mind and the senses, I'm aware of the whole world. So I am aware. This existence awareness is my own nature. This is the first result of Vedanta. This is what is meant by here, bodhoham. I am awareness. What is being said here is not simply that I am aware. That everybody accepts. Yeah, I am aware. What's the big deal? But what we normally think is, I am this body, I am this mind. Yeah, there is some awareness also, some consciousness. I am this bundle of body-mind consciousness. This is not what is meant here by Vedanta. By Vedanta says, you are awareness itself, to which a body-mind senses world are appearing. Bodho aham, I am awareness only, consciousness only. That's what I am. My existence. If I'm physical, my existence consists in this physical body. If I am awareness, my existence consists in what? What's the material out of which I'm made? I'm made of awareness. I'm made of light in a figurative sense. I'm made of awareness itself, consciousness itself. That is the meaning of bodhoham. I am bodha. Bodha means consciousness. There are many words for that in Sanskrit. Bodha, chaitanya, chit, samvit, chiti. Many words. So, I am consciousness only. And a little further if I go, and the whole verse will be dealing with this, but let me say it concisely first and then I'll proceed to unpack it. First result, I am consciousness. Second result, to me the consciousness appears space. Space appears in me, the consciousness. Since space appears in me, I, the consciousness, am not limited by space. I am all pervasive. Since time appears to me, in me, I, the consciousness, am not limited by time. Therefore, I am eternal. Since all objects appear in me, the consciousness, I am not limited by these objects. These objects do not constitute something other than me, a second reality apart from me. Therefore, I am non-dual. There is no second reality apart from me, the consciousness. Vedanta, finished. Over. What did I say just now? What you are aware of, the beginning. What you are aware of, that you are not. Take that seriously. Then what are you reduced to? Not only existence awareness. Then third, time appears in you, space appears in you, all objects appear in you, the consciousness. All of these can be debated and developed later on. Because time appears in you, the consciousness, you the awareness, you are eternal. Because space appears in you the consciousness, you are not limited by space, you are all pervasive. Because all objects appear in you, the consciousness, you are not limited by these objects. We'll explain what limitation means. Limited by these objects, therefore, you are unlimited, non-dual. That means no second reality apart from you. Finished. This is Advaita Vedanta. This is all packed in the statement, Bodho Aham. I am Bodha. I am pure consciousness. Everything else is an object to me. Whatever is an object to me, to awareness, is a projection of myself through Maya into this world. The whole world, physical world, the subtle world, all of space, all of time, all objects are appearances of me, of I to myself. You are right to look puzzled and mystified. What's he going on about? This is all sort of very heavy lifting physically. Philosophically, not physically. That is what is mentioned here as Niranjana Shuddha, pure, beyond Maya, beyond any stain. That which is limitless appears as limited through Maya. That which is consciousness appears as an object through Maya. This is object. That which is eternal appears as divided in time. That which is all pervasive appears contracted and limited. That is the effect of Maya. So this is called, that's why consciousness is called Niranjana, beyond Maya. Now, to explore this further, I was reminded of a very beautiful song by Kabir Das ji, the great medieval mystical poet in India. So there's this very beautiful song. It's called, the name of the song is Ram Niranjana Nyarare. We are going to explore this one word, Niranjan. Anjan, stain, Maya, limitation. Niranjan, beyond, stainless, pure, beyond Maya. Ram Niranjana Nyarare. So the word Rama. Why did we start? Oh, Yoga Vasishta. Rama is the central character there. Now Rama has four meanings. Rama has four meanings. There are four Ramas. What is the Ram? Pehla Ram, Dashrath ka beta. Duja Ram, Jagat Pasera. Teesra Ram, Ghat Ghat mein leta. Chautha Ram, Sabse Nyara. First, Rama is the prince of Ayodhya, the son of Dasharatha. A person. Somebody was born in history and somebody died, just like us, a person. The first Rama. The second Rama, we know that he is an incarnation of God. The second Rama is God, Narayana, Vishnu, Jagat Pasera, who creates the entire universe. In Vedantic terms, Saguna Brahman, Ishvara, Bhagavan. That's the second Rama. And why? Because we know Rama is an incarnation of Vishnu, Narayana. Third Rama, that Brahman, that Saguna Brahman, Ishvara, is present in everything in this universe. Vivekananda says we Hindus worship a transcendent, immanent God. Transcendent means beyond space, time, and causation, beyond everything. And immanent means in and through everything. In every entity in this universe, the divine is present. That's why Vivekananda says the way is to divinize life itself, to see God in everybody and in everything. So Rama is present in everybody, in everything. So Tisra Ram, the third Ram is Ghat Ghat mein leta. In every particle of this universe, the divine is present. Whenever you are experiencing the world, whenever you are experiencing other people, you're experiencing God. Just you don't know it. It's God in disguise. I was giving a talk in Pittsburgh, and this gentleman at the back, he said, Swami, excuse me, are you saying that the universe is God in drag? Yes, sort of, yes. That's the third meaning of Rama, the pervading the entire universe. God pervades the entire universe. But the fourth meaning of Rama, Chautha Ram, Sabse Nyara, is beyond everything, beyond space, time, object, beyond the universe, beyond body, mind. It is pure being, pure consciousness, pure bliss, Satchidananda, if you can even use those terms, beyond those terms also. So that fourth one, that's what's the subject of this song by Kabir Das. Ram Niranjan Nyarare. Niranjan means beyond Maya. So Kabir says in this song, everything else in this universe is within Maya. Sri Ramakrishna used to use these words, Shakti Relaka, the domain of Shakti, the domain of the Divine Mother, the entire universe, all our lives. Whatever happens, whoever happens to you, whatever the story of our lives, everything is the will of God, where everything is the will of, in Sri Ramakrishna's terms, it's the divine feminine. It's the whole thing is the will of the Divine Mother. But the transcendent, that's also the Divine Mother, but that's a transcendent nature. She has two natures. One is this, and the other one is transcendent. So Ram Niranjan Nyarare is beyond everything. That's the thrust of the song. Let me give you the lyrics. I'm going to play it for you. That's a treat for today. So it's not just a dry, long lecture. Don't worry about the language. I will give you the lyrics right now, then enjoy the song. It's in a divine voice, Kumar Gandharva. Have you heard of Kumar Gandharva? A great classical singer. I heard that he had only one lung. And it's such a strenuous thing to sing these songs, and with one lung. Anyway, let me just give you the lyrics of that song. Ram Niranjan Nyara Re. This is Kabir Das. Ram Niranjan Nyara Re, Anjan Sakala Pasara Re. What does it mean? Ram is unmatched, beyond taint, beyond Maya, manifesting the entire tainted universe. Anjan Sakala Pasara Re. Pasara is prasara, this Srishti, the creation of the universe. Anjan Utapatti Omkar Anjan Mange Sab Vistar. The source of the creation of the universe is tainted. So is Om. The tainted manifests all expansion. Anjan Brahma Shankara Indar Anjan Gopi Sangi Govindare. Tainted are Brahma, Shankara and Indra. Even the avatars, Govinda, Krishna and the gopis. Even Govinda along with his gopis is tainted. Tainted means within Maya. Sri Ramakrishna used to say Mayari avatar. Avatar comes through Maya. Difference, of course, is we also come through Maya. The difference is we are under the domain of Maya. We are under the control of Maya. The avatar is the controller of Maya. There's a two words, Maya Dina, Maya Adhisha. Maya Dina, under the spell of Maya. We are under the spell of Maya. But God, even when God comes as an incarnation in this world, into history, God is not under the spell of Maya. God is rather the controller, Maya Adhisha, controller, Lord of Maya. Tainted is Govinda along with his gopis. Anjana Vani, Anjana Ved, Anjana Kiya, Nana Bhed. You can follow actually. All language is within Maya. Anjana means tainted Maya. All language, all Vedas, even the sacred scriptures, our regular secular language is within Maya, so are the scriptures. They're all within Maya. Maya has created innumerable distinctions, Nana Bhed, all of this. It is one reality, but it does not appear like one. It appears enormously diverse to us. Anjana Vidya Patha Purana, Anjana Vaho Katakata Hi Jnanare. Anjan is all knowledge. Patha, the study of scriptures. Puranas, the Puranas, the Hindu scriptures, the mythological scriptures, Puranas. Anjan Vaho Katakata Hi Jnanare. This is, within Maya is all logic, analytical reasoning. It's all within Maya. Anjana Pati, Anjana Dev. The humble leaf out there is Maya. And the gods in the heavens are also within Maya. Anjan ki kare, Anjana save. The servant is within Maya, so is the Lord. Anjana nache, Anjana gave. It's easy to follow. Maya dances, Maya sings. Anjana vesh, Ananta dikhavere. Anjana or Maya shows many disguises, comes in many disguises. Anjana kaha kaha lag keta. So, how far does the domain, the empire of Maya extend? Dan puni tap tirat jeta. Even to philanthropy and works of holy works, of spiritual practices, pilgrimages, tirat. All of them are within the empire of Maya. Kahe Kabir koi birla jage. Very beautiful final lines. Says Kabir, there is only a rare one who awakens. All are asleep in the domain of Maya. Only the rare one awakens. The rare one is, that's the meaning of the word Buddha, to be awakened. Only a rare one awakens. Anjana chadi ananta hi dagere. Goes beyond Maya to the infinite. Okay. Can you play the song? Enjoy the song. Then we'll come back to Vedanta. This is Vedanta, of course, it's musical Vedanta.
Ram Niranjan Nyarare Anjan Sakal Pasarare Ram Niranjan Nyarare
Will the speed double?
I think just see the playback, it seems faster than usual. I thought, why is he hurrying up so much?
Okay, let me play from the beginning.
Yes. Play it at speed 1.
Yeah. Ram Niranjan Nyarare Anjan Sakal Pasarare Ram Niranjan Nyarare Nyarare Ram Niranjan Nyarare Ram Niranjan Nyarare Anjan Sakal Pasarare Anjan Sakal Pasarare Ram Niranjan Nyarare Anjan Sakala Anjan Sakala Ram Niranjan Nyara Anjan Anjan Muttapati Omkar Omkar Anjan Muttapati Omkar Anjan Maya Sabadistar Anjan Maya Sabadistar Anjan Brahma Shankaralinda Anjan Brahma Shankaralinda Anjan Gopi Sangi Govindale Ram Niranjan Nyarare Nyarare Niranjan Nyarare Ram Niranjan Nyarare Anjan Sakala Pasarare Niranjan Nyarare Anjan Vani अंजन हो कटकट ही ज्ञान रे राम निरंजन न्यारा रे अंजन सकल राम निरंजन न्यारा रे न्यारा राम निरंजन न्यारा रे न्यारा राम निरंजन न्यारा रे अंजन सकल प्रसाद निरंजन न्यारा रे न्यारा अंजन पाती पाती अंजन पाती अंजन देव अंजन पाती अंजन देव अंजन पाती अंजन देव अंजन की करे अंजन से अंजन की करे अंजन से अंजन नाचे अंजन गावे अंजन नाचे अंजन गावे अंजन देशिगन दिखावे देवा निरंजन न्यारा रे निरंजन निरंजन न्यारा अंजन सकल निरंजन न्यारा निरंजन न्यारा रे न्यारा अंजन कहा अंजन कहा कहान केता केता अंजन कहा कहान केता दान पुनीत तीरथ देता दान पुनीत तीरथ देता कहे कबीर कोई कहे कबीर कोई बिरला जागे कहे कबीर कोई बिरला जागे अंजन छाड़ी अनंत जागे भाई निरंजन न्यारा रे निरंजन न्यारा रे न्यारा न्यारा रे ताम निरंजन न्यारा रे अंजन सकल अंजन सकल पसारा रे निरंजन न्यारा रे न्यारा रे
That was truly sublime, beautiful. Ram Niranjan Nyarare. The divinity is utterly transcendent, beyond time, space, causation, beyond all objects. There is one transcendent light shining beyond all of this. That you are, Bodhoham, that Ram Niranjan Nyarare, what he's speaking about here, beyond time, space, and object, beyond this manifest universe, and beyond the unmanifest universe also. That one reality, which is pure consciousness, pure being, pure bliss, Sat Chit Ananda, that is your real nature. That is our real nature. That is our real home. To put it even more bluntly, straightforward, Tattvamasi, you are that. This is the teaching of Vedanta. That's why, Bodhoaham, I am pure consciousness, Niranjana, beyond Anjana, beyond taint, beyond Maya. And therefore, Shuddha, pure. Pure not in the sense of somebody who's clean and good, no, that too, but not in that limited sense. Pure in the sense of consciousness only, being only, awareness only. Utterly transcendent in that sense of pure, in the ultimate sense of pure. That is our real nature. That is step one in Advaita Vedanta. It's the first movement in this grand symphony. There are two more movements. Second, what about all this? Didn't you just say it is all Anjana, Maya? It is through the lens of Maya, all this is appearing. But now, second movement is even more. What did we do in the first? Whatever you are aware of, that you are not. Whatever we are aware of, that I am not. Now in the second movement, we will see whatever we are aware of, that I am. This entire display of the universe, this entire display of Maya, of Anjan, what was just sung right now. So far it seems a clean division has been made. One transcendent reality and one, the reality within space, time and causation, Maya, the realm of Maya. Two things as if. But now it is going to be said what is within the realm of Maya. Maya itself and what is within the realm of Maya is nothing than that Ram Niranjan. Whatever appears to you through Maya, in this body, mind, in the display of the world, is nothing other than you, the pure consciousness. So the second step is apparently a reversal of the first step. But why? How? Now it is true that you are not what you are aware of. Follow this carefully. It is true that you are not what you are aware of. But now let me ask you, what you are aware of, is it other than you? You are other than it. You are not an object. Everything is an object to you. You are other than objects. You are different from objects. You transcend all objects. But are the objects other than you? Do they exist independently of you? What I'm saying here is, when we experience the world, keep it real, keep it within your experience. When we experience the world and we hear such things, it feels like I'm experiencing, and this world is there and it is appearing to me. I am seeing it, it's appearing to my eyes, it's being experienced in my ears, tongue, nose, five sense organs, my instruments, scientific instruments. It is there and it's appearing to me. Two realities. A subject, I am the subject, and this is an objective reality. I am consciousness and this is matter. It is appearing to me. But what is being said here is that which is appearing to you does not constitute a separate reality. In order to understand this, let's take the example of a dream. The dream example is very good to understand this. It is true that whatever we dream about, whoever we dream about, and whatever happened in the dreams, I, the dreamer, am separate from it. In Sanskrit or in Hindi, not Sanskrit, Nyara, separate, transcend. You, the dreamer, you transcend the world of your dreams. Is that true or not? Because you exist even without the people and the places you thought you dreamt about. When you wake up, you are still there. You, the dreamer, are still there. The dream has disappeared. But the opposite is not true. That which you experience, that which we experience in the dream, the places, the people, the events, whatever we experienced in the dream, it has no existence apart from you, the dreamer. When I dream, it is I alone, my mind alone, which appears as all the objects, people, and events in my dream. It cannot exist apart from my dreaming. A nice piece of Christmas cake I'm having. And suddenly I realize it's time to wake up. Alarm is ringing. Do I have to put it away in the refrigerator? I'll come back in the next dream tomorrow and I'll eat the rest of it. No! The cake along with the refrigerator and all of it is gone the moment I wake up. It doesn't exist anymore. It was projected by me, by my mind, my dreaming mind. Therefore, it is my dream. It is my radiance. It appeared as if different from me. After all, in the dream, I appeared as this person, and the cake appeared different from me, and therefore I was going to eat it. But when I wake up, I realize there was no cake different from me. It was I, the dreamer, who appeared as the cake and the eater too. In the dream, neither exists apart from me. And this much must be clear. Is just our daily experience, our dream experience. What is being suggested now is in this waking life too, in this so-called real, quote unquote, real life too, this whole universe which appears to consciousness is not apart from consciousness. That is the inner secret of saying Anjana Sakala Paserare. Maya has projected everything. Projected everything from where? On what basis? What has it projected? It's projected you as your universe. I alone, just as I alone appear as my dream universe in my dreams, the dreamer alone appears as the dream universe in the dreams. I am the subject in the dreams. Similarly, you, the one consciousness, Ram Niranjan, Bodha, pure consciousness, you appear as your own universe. This is the magic of Maya. And then into this universe, you are projected as this person. I enter into this universe as this person. I am actually the utterly transcendent, pure being, pure consciousness. But this universe and this person, they are not different from me. They are projections or appearances of I, me, myself. Do you see the two steps? Step one, you are not what you are aware of. Step two, it's still true, you are not what you are aware of. But what you are aware of is nothing other than you. It should be repeated like a mantra and understood. You are not what you are aware of. And step two, all that you are aware of is nothing but you. In a dream, you are not what you are aware of in the dream. You are the dreamer. But what you are aware of in the dream, the cake, is nothing but you. You projected it. It doesn't exist apart from you. So, Ram Niranjan Nyara, you are the pure transcendent consciousness, Niranjana, Shuddha, pure consciousness. But this entire display of the universe, you are untainted by anything here. Not by the word, not by the body, not by thoughts, not by karma. I'm a great sinner, bad karma. You're not untainted by that. Swami Vivekananda's famous lines, good, good, bad, bad, and none escape the law. Whosoever wears the form must wear the chain too. But far beyond name and form is Atma never free. Same thing, Ram Niranjan Nyara. Far beyond name and form is Atma never free. No, thou art that. Sannyasi bold, say Om Tat Sat Om. But also, the name and the form and the good and the bad, they are all your radiance. Now, it might take a lot of, the Jewish word is chutzpah, to say that the universe is my radiance. I mean, that's the greatest megalomania of all. The universe is my radiance. As pure consciousness, Advaita demands that you own it up. But if you cannot, if it seems too much, if it seems dishonest to say that, Swami Turiyanandaji, the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna Hari Maharaj, he says that I am Brahman, that I am all this. Vivekananda could say it. But for us, it is far easier to say, you, my Lord, my mother, you are all of this. So there are two ways you can deal with this world. One is, this world is nothing but me. I am one with everything. Vivekananda, he who runs away from all of this to meditate and die in a Himalayan cave has missed the way. He who plunges into its appearances has missed the way. But the way is to divinize life itself, to see God everywhere. That's one way, to see one divinity everywhere. I am all of this. In Sanskrit, Atme Vedam Sarvam. The Atman alone is indeed all of this. Or, if you cannot, if that's too much to say, if that doesn't feel natural, then what Swami Turiyanandaji shows, oh my blissful divine mother, my mother Kali, my divine mother, or my Lord, my sweet Lord, you are all of this. That we can do that. So, in these two ways. Now, what's the consequence of that? The next word, Anantoaham. What happens is you become limitless. Anantoaham. Let's understand this a little more carefully. Use the dream example again. In the dream, the world of the dream, suppose you are walking up there and you see the snow and the forests and the road outside, and far behind that the forest and the sky, and you know far beyond is Connecticut and the rest of the United States and the oceans and the planet itself, the stars, the whole universe is there. But suppose you wake up from a dream and you dreamt that I was in the ashram, walking around in the ashram. Then what will happen is, would it be true to say that the whole ashram which you saw in the dream and the space beyond the ashram and the so-called universe which you was dreamt of, all of that was in your mind? No? And therefore, the whole of the dream universe was pervaded, quote unquote, by you, the dreamer. There was nothing in the dream universe except yourself. All of it was pervaded by you. With me so far? Exactly like that, what is being suggested here is, if this whole universe is a projection of that same Ram Niranjan, your own Satchidananda nature, then everything, all space in this universe is pervaded by you. Space is not, you're not limited in space. Our usual way of perceiving things is, I am limited in space. Limited in space means, I am here, but not there. I am in Connecticut, I'm not in New York. I am on the earth, I'm not in the moon. And that's because we identify with the body. As the body, we certainly will limited, located here. But as awareness in which this whole universe arises, there is no place here, no space here where you are not. Rather, it's more technically correct to say all spaces appear in you. Therefore, you're not limited by space. One, you're not limited by time. Don't worry, the lecture is limited by time and I'll wrap it up in time. You think, oh God, he's unlimited in time. Is the lecture going to go on infinitely, eternally? You're not limited by time, because time is also, not limited in time often is understood as eternal in the sense of lasting for a long, long, long time. Not in that sense. In the sense that time itself is an appearance in consciousness. So the whole concept of time, the whole experience of time, the whole phenomenon of time is an appearance in consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is not limited by time. And finally, objects. Our usual experience of objects is that that's separate, I am this. That's how we started. What you are aware of, you are not that. So this is all separate from me. They exist apart from me. Yes, as a body, certainly. The stage exists apart from me. Other bodies exist apart from me. But as awareness, do they exist apart from you? Or do they appear in you? Just like every entity in the dream appears in the dreamer's mind, every entity in this universe, known and unknown, appears in consciousness. I've packed in a lot with that little phrase, known and unknown. Because someone might raise a question here. Are you seriously suggesting everything is in consciousness? And if you are, that's obviously not true. There are millions of things in this world and in the universe which I'm not conscious of. How are they in my consciousness? Do you understand the doubt, the question? Seems to be an obvious question, no-brainer. But it turns on a misapprehension. Consciousness and knowledge are two different things. Consciousness, awareness, through this body, through this mind, through these senses, knows a slice of this universe, just this much. I can see this much. I can't even see what's outside in the parking lot. But both the seen and the unseen Where are they? Where are they being experienced? Where is the seen being experienced? In me, the consciousness. Where is that being experienced as the unseen? In me, the consciousness. I'm saying something simple and yet dramatic. The whole universe as the little bit which is known and the vast unknown exists in you, the consciousness. And this I'm not making a metaphysical speculation. I'm just saying this is a simple statement of fact. Where else is the universe other than in this consciousness? You might say, no, it's outside. Where else is the outside other than in your consciousness? Even the idea that there is an outside is in consciousness. Somebody said, but no. We are playing with words. Millions of years ago, before the life evolved, there was no consciousness at all. But the planet was there, the universe was there, and billions of years before that, from the beginning of the Big Bang, no life, no consciousness. The universe existed, a dead universe. It existed outside, independent of consciousness. Consciousness came much later. That's the kind of which might arise. But the answer is very simple. This whole story, where is it? In your consciousness. The whole idea of an insentient universe existing for billions of years. Who is talking about it? Let me give you another example which might make it a little more palatable. Again, the dream example. If you're walking about someplace in the dream, meeting with people, seeing the beauties of nature, and all of that, are you or are you not aware? In the dream also, we have a vague awareness that there is a world outside. We don't say in the dream that whatever I am seeing, only that exists because after all, it's a dream, nothing else exists. No, we feel it's just like a waking life. And there is an unknown world. And that world has existed since Big Bang, billions of years. But when I wake up, the known universe and the unknown universe, the unseen universe in the dream, all of them will be found to be in the dreamer's mind only. And the so-called universe which has existed for billions of years will be found to be a story in the dreamer's mind only. That's an example. Exactly like that, the claim is in this one transcendent consciousness, the whole universe floats dreamlike. Is an appearance. That was the line, Anjana Sakala Paserade. This Maya, the lens of Maya, it projects this transcendent consciousness as this universe, as this objective universe. And therefore, the universe does not constitute a separate, independent reality to be counted along with consciousness. Therefore, it's not a limit to consciousness. What's a limit? I am conscious and I come and stop here. This is something outside my consciousness. This is an independent entity. No. What Vedanta is saying, this is not outside your consciousness. It appears in your consciousness and has no existence apart from you, the consciousness. Not as an individual, as consciousness only, as bodha. And these are huge, huge themes. A whole history of philosophy, East and West, has struggled with these ideas for centuries, if not millennia. These are not new ideas, they are very ancient ideas. There are varieties of it. Now, not new, panpsychism, they're talking about it. Consciousness pervading the whole universe. Science, strangely enough, I'm not a scientist, but sort of circling around in a different way to the same ideas. Somebody sent me an article recently, printed out, gave me an article from Popular Mechanics, that your consciousness interacts with everything in the universe. Not exactly what we are saying, still less ambitious than what we are saying, but in the same direction, no doubt about it. I think the persons who won the Nobel Prize last year in physics, the non-locality of phenomena, I don't know the physics of it, but it sounds pretty much like what we are talking about. An interconnected universe floating in consciousness. This is the meaning of Ananta. Ananto aham. Limitless I am. This bodha, this pure consciousness, is not limited in time, not limited in space, not limited by object. Not limited in time, therefore eternal, not limited in space, therefore all pervasive, not limited by object, therefore non-dual. There's no second reality apart from it. I'm always a little scared of using words like all pervasive, because immediately the idea comes in our mind is pervading means here is this room and I light an incense and the smell pervades, the fragrance pervades the room. As if there is a universe and consciousness pervades it. Not like that. It's more like a dream. The mind is there and it appears as the dream universe in the dream. Similarly, consciousness, you are there, you appear as this world, as the subject and the object of this world. That is the meaning of Ananta. Now, this is the second movement. 3 movements. First movement, you are not what you are aware of. You are awareness itself. Second movement, but it's not apart from you. It's like your dream. It's like your radiance. Or if that's too much, say it is the play of the Divine Mother, this entire universe. The second movement. Third movement, therefore, what is the result? He says, Cheshtamanam imam deha pashyami anya shariravat. The result is that I do not see myself as limited to this person only. After all this, you come back into this life. You come back into this life. You're still, somebody said, you're still the same dude. You're back in the same body. You are experiencing this world from this perspective. However, now, instead of saying, I am this person, this body, mind only, we say, I am the awareness acting through this body, mind, identified with this personality, but I know I'm far beyond this. This is a particular appearance, like if I would appear to myself in a dream. That which I appear in a dream is not the real me. The real me in the dream is dreaming and sleeping and dreaming. But I appear as the dreaming, a person in the dream also. Similarly, this person is also appearing in my experience. Anya Shariravat. I treat this personality just like I would treat everybody else. Once Swami Vivekananda, he was getting ready to go and give a talk. And in the dressing room, so this lady who writes this, I saw Vivekananda used to wear this turban. He would tie the turban, he goes to the mirror, looks at his face, and then he's going there, comes back, looks at his face, he's going to the stage, but he comes back and looks at his face. And this lady said, oh, he's vain of his good looks. Immediately, Swami was very telepathic. So he turned around to her and said, the moment I step away from the mirror, I can't remember what I look like. The whole idea of a form is so strongly identified with his nature as awareness only, as Atman only, Bodho, that I am somehow this form that's difficult for him to hold on to. Just the opposite. We are so tied to this body, that person is finding it difficult to hold on to this body identification. He says, Anya Shariravat, just like another body. That is form. Name, Swami Brahmananda, another disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He was the president of the order, of the whole our whole monastic order, first president. I mean, technically Vivekananda was the first president, but he immediately transferred it over to Brahmananda. I always keep saying Swami Brahmananda the first president, and somebody corrected me. Technically, you are wrong, Swami. Now, as the president, he had to sign resolutions and stuff like that, documents. And this young monk, who later became also the president of the order, Swami Shuddhanandaji, Shuddhi Maharaj, he was hapless, his job to get the signatures from Swami Brahmananda. And Swami Brahmananda would put it off. Said, not today, I'll sign it tomorrow. Then tomorrow would be like, not today, then tomorrow. Or I'm not really feeling well today, later. Just a signature. So finally, exasperated, the monks, Shuddhananda, asked Swami Brahmananda, Maharaj, why don't you just sign it? It's a simple thing, it's just sign it. And he replied with a touch of pathos. He said, Sudhir, I want to sign it, but I can't remember my name. He was ashamed to admit that he can't remember his name. The personal identity which is so strong to us, this body, this form, this name, my little story, my list of grudges, my projects, my memories. This constitutes our personality, and this is so important to us. And now it is added, so many folders full of photos and selfies. Wherever I've gone and taken so many pictures, that's also part of my story. All of this is my identity. This is as nothing to that person. because that person has stepped back from it and realized what it's his infinite nature as limitless awareness. Anya Shariravat. Another example I've given is of Ramana Maharshi. Somebody wrote an article criticizing him, and that the copy was given to him. And Ramana Maharshi sat down and carefully corrected the grammar and the spellings and sent back the copy to the writer. Somebody said, "But Maharshi, he is criticizing you." And Ramana Maharshi looked startled. "Oh no, he's not. He's criticizing some fellow called Ramana." He is so identified, so centered in his nature as awareness itself, and therefore identified with everybody and nobody. As awareness, either you are all of this or none of it. Our problem is, I am awareness, but for some unjustifiable, inexplicable reason, I have grasped this body mind as myself and have occluded, forgotten, shoved aside my awareness nature. And I have a physical nature, a mental nature, a personality nature, but awareness by itself is a tiny part of it. Whereas the enlightened one, from the perspective as limitless awareness, sees this body and this mind as just either I am all bodies and minds and all beings. Krishna says, Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Know, O Arjuna, know me as the knower of the field in all fields. The bodies are the fields. In each field there seems to be a separate knower. But he says, no, there's only one knower. And I am that knower in all beings. So this one limitless consciousness I am, either I am all of it or none of it. Our problem starts when I grasp one of it and then start interacting with the rest. Like a dream. In the dream, I'm all of it or none of it. But what happens in the dream? Why do I get scared, nightmare, problems? Because I pick up one being in the dream and say, I am that, and then now I'm experiencing all of this. Samsara is also like that. So this is the third great movement. How do you bring this realization to bear upon this life? This life will continue. If you're able to bring this realization to bear upon this life and solve the problems which are problems, either till now they were problems, now they are no longer problems, then you are called Jivan Mukta, liberated while living. Guna Apita, beyond the gunas of Prakriti, beyond Maya. Or in the words of Kabir, Ram Niranjan Dhyarare. In the midst of samsara, in the midst of Maya, you are utterly transcendent. You don't have to sit in a cave for this. You can if you want to. There's nothing that binds you. Somebody said, what are the duties of an enlightened one? No duty. What should an enlightened one do? You cannot say. Will they do anything? They might. They often do a lot, much more than us. Or they might not do anything also. There is no limitation. There's no way of stipulating anything that the enlightened one has to do this or doesn't have to do that. So utterly independent is the enlightened one, but this is also utterly one with the entire universe. Okay, let me do the peace chant, and then we'll go into Q&A. But before Q&A, there is an announcement, right? There will be an announcement. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. There's some announcement.
Thanks, Maharaj. As you all know by now, we have Swamis visiting us almost each month from various centers in US and Canada, and also Swamis visiting from abroad. Many of the times for major events, Swamis stay for multiple times during like annual days or summer retreats in devotees' places overnight. We plan to construct a building for the visiting Swamis to stay, with a hall for the visiting Swami to meet with devotees. And you can see in the screen how it will look like. It is just coming adjacent to this building. We are very closely. One fine day when we have a resident Swami for our center, this will also become a permanent home. It will likely happen very soon. And we are working with the architects and the town panchayats and plan to start this capital expansion project very soon. And we estimate roughly it's going to cost about 550,000. As you can see in the screen, that is the expenditure, that is the architects and the plan is telling. And only with your help and support, this will come into reality. We would like you, the devotees, to come forward and donate, and no amount is small. You can do it in service, that is, you can during even days like this one. You can do it in the front desk. They accept through credit cards or by checks. Or there is a donate link in the website. You can also click and donate that at any time. And also there is a contact number available in the website. You can call at any time. So, it's a great opportunity, for Swamis to come here and give discourses every now and then. They, come few hours before and refresh, and that is chat with the devotees, and this would be an extremely, useful capital expansion that we have been thinking for a long time, and we are trying to bring it to a reality as soon as possible. And thank you, and would appreciate your support. Thanks, Maharaj. Now let's start with Q&A.
Yes. How do we do that? Microphone
Yes,
will
it will be, yeah. So during Q&A, Swami will be here, and two of our volunteers will be coming with the microphone. So just raise your hand and ask the question. But before you ask, Swami, introduce yourself with your name. So it will be roughly about 30 minutes. So feel free to make use of the Q&A session with Swami. Thank you. And after that, we'll have Aarti, short break on Aarti.
All right, don't be shy, and you can also, but you have to be aggressive about raising your hand. You have to make sure that they see you. Tell us your name and ask the question.
Namaste Swamiji and Kanchana. My question is the pure consciousness that we are, the awareness of the consciousness that we are, that you spoke about. Initially you said, you're different from the body and the mind, then you understand that it's all appearance in your consciousness. So the consciousness, we have to become aware that we are outside the body or something. Is that part of the realization? Because we all identify ourselves very much with the body. So the consciousness we feel is within the body. So are we to get to a stage of awareness when we don't become identified with the body, like the Maharaj spoke about? Who forgot his name?
Yes. Can you hear me? Yes. It's a subtle question, but an important question. When you say, I am not the body, not the mind, what it means is, the first step is to become clear about what I am not. And do not try to force yourself to think that I am consciousness, I am awareness. What will happen is, then the mind will create a kind of understanding about it, a concept about it, and try to hold on to that. Now, instead of doing that, just see that how it becomes more and more clear, I can't be the body. The body is just a thing, it's a sophisticated biological machine, just like this thing. It's an object, this is an object. This is a machine, this is a machine. And I'm aware of it. How can I be it? A doctor wrote to me saying that it suddenly struck me, it is an epiphany which comes, it suddenly struck me that I've been looking at scans of the body for 30 years. Suddenly it struck me, where am I in all of this? I, this conscious being, the sentient being, where am I in all of this? It's an object. The doctor studies every bit of it. The biologist, the physiologist studies every bit of it as an object. Where am I in all of that? Then apply the same thing to the mind. I am not even the mind. The mind is a series of thoughts and feelings, memories. They are all appearing and going. I was there before the thought came. I am there during the thought. I am also continuing. I am there when the thought goes away. Because I notice the arising of the thought. I notice the existing of the thought. I notice the disappearance of the thought. The feeling, I am very depressed. No, you are not very depressed. You are aware of the feeling of depression. You are there before the feeling came. And you are there when the feeling of depression arose. You are there when the depression feeling is going on. But when the depression feeling fades away, you're still there and you are the same one. Somebody may argue, no, I am both. I am the one who is not depressed and I am the one who is depressed. When Swami said in Hindi, Are wah, ghoda bhi aur gadha bhi. You are both the horse and the donkey. No, more precise is to say, I experience the absence of depression. I experience the arising of depression, the presence of depression, and the disappearance of depression also. And the one who experiences all of them is the same I. Same I, then the depression which came and went cannot be part of me. If it was really a part of me, if it was me, then I would have either not existed when it was not there, or I would have disappeared when it went away. So, even mind and memories and feelings are not me. They are part of this display. Part of the display is a physical universe, part of the display is a mental universe. This is a very beautiful Buddhist saying in Tibetan Mahayana, Tibetan Buddhism. Samsara and Nirvana are both magical displays on the primordial ground of being which I am. Vedanta puts so precisely, I am the primordial ground of existence, of being itself. And both samsara, this world, and freedom from this world, spirituality, nirvana, moksha, freedom, that also is a display. I am neither. I am this one awareness. That is just to say what I am. That's why Buddhists never want to say positive. Now, your question was, right now, if I feel I am the body, and in this body some awareness is there. Now what we must do is shift the identification to see that this body appears to me. The world appears to me, the body also appears to me. So I am not a body with awareness, but I am awareness with a body. It's a very big shift. It is not like I will feel I am outside the body. Earlier I was feeling I am here, now I feel I am there. No, not like that. I am wherever I am, but the body, mind, all are appearing to me, in me. That way. Where am I? I feel I am here. Why? Because the body is here. And all the sense organs are here. Especially the face. Eyes, ears, nose, lips, tongue, the sensitive face. So all of them are here. Naturally, we feel very located here. But notice, you don't feel located here when you fall asleep. Even the whole body disappears from your awareness. A whole dream world comes up. Okay, so then I am the mind. Better. But even when the mind stops functioning in deep sleep, no thoughts, no dreams even, no perceptions, no memories, you're still there. Because deep sleep is something that is also experienced. Body is an object, even mind is an object, but you are not an object. You are that to which all objects appear. Now, why is it so difficult? Difficult only because of a very simple reason. All our ways of knowing are objectified. We want to know it as this, or at least as this feeling, this thought, this experience. But all this is appearing to you, the consciousness, which is not a this. Shankaracharya's disciple, Padmapadacharya, 1100 years ago, defined it as, 1200 years ago, defined it as Anidam Chaitanyam, not this consciousness. To consciousness, everything appears as this, but the consciousness pure consciousness itself can never appear as a this. And that's good. That one you are. A good example is the eyes. It's an example. All things are seen by the eyes, but the eyes are not seen by the eyes. Swami, look in a mirror. In a mirror, I can see a reflection of my eyes. I can't see my eyes directly the way the eyes are directly seeing everything else. The eyes cannot see themselves directly, either in a mirror or in a selfie. There's a picture, there's a reflection. But the eyes see everything. But the eyes are not part of what they are seeing. The limit of vision is not there. You can extend it further by using a telescope. The limit of vision is where? Here. This is an example. Now think of consciousness like that, awareness like that. Everything is revealed to you by awareness. But awareness is not revealed as an object there. In the act of revealing everything, awareness is revealed. In the act of seeing everything, eyes are revealed. I have eyes. How do I know? See, this book is here. How do I know? I'll say I see it. The clock is here. How do I know? I see it. The eyes are here. How do I know? You can't say I see everything, therefore I know. What is the proof of this thing? Seeing it. What is the proof of this thing? Seeing it. So the proof of existence of something is seeing it. What is the proof of the eyes? You can't say seeing it. Seeing what is the proof of the existence of the book? Seeing the book. Seeing what is the proof of the existence of the cloth? Seeing the cloth. Seeing what is the proof of the existence of the eyes? Seeing anything. But these things are seen by the eye. Eye is not directly seen by the eye. Similarly, consciousness objectifies everything except itself. Objectifying everything, consciousness is continuously revealed. The Kena Upanishad says, Prati Bodha Veditam Matam. In every experience in life, when you realize your pure consciousness. Because every experience is again and again proving it to you that you are awareness. Not even, last point, you said outside the body. Not even really outside. Because even outside and inside are experienced in awareness. Inside the room, outside the room. Both are in your awareness. Your body is inside the room. Your body is not outside the room. But this inside and outside are both in your awareness. Is it not so as a fact? Yeah. That place seems outside. This place seems inside. Both in awareness. Somebody asked in a Vedanta talk going on in Hindi, in Haridwar. The teacher was saying, you are all pervading. And somebody at the back of the hall asked, wait a minute. In Hindi they were saying, Mahatma ji, आप उधर हैं और इधर नहीं हैं. मैं इधर हूँ उधर नहीं हूँ. कैसे सर्वव्यापी हुआ? You are there and you are not here. I am here and I am not there. How can I be all pervading? And the teacher replied, but here and there, are they not both in you? यहाँ और वहाँ, क्या दोनों ही आप में नहीं है? There's no need to look so mystified. Is he trying to sound cool? No. It sounds strange because looking at it from the body centric, it does not make sense. How can there and here be both within me? Not in the body. As awareness. Where is here? In awareness. Where is there? In awareness only. We have this feeling that awareness is here. No. Here and there are both in awareness. To understand this even more clearly, use the dream example. Suppose in a dream, I feel I am here and the tree is there. When I wake up, both here and there will be in dream. Yes.
Sorry.
Tell us your name and ask the question.
This is Pramod Pawar. I mean, continuing to our earlier conversation, still trying to understand where we can locate the mind. And is the brain and mind a same thing? Or if it is not, I mean, if it's a different thing, how those are like, what is the relation between brain and mind?
Notice, Vedanta is not really interested in either the brain or the mind. What will Vedanta say? Brain is an appearance in consciousness, mind is also an appearance in consciousness. Anything that is you're aware of. Are you aware of the brain? Yes, we can be. I can do a brain scan, I can look at a picture of a brain, I can even see a picture of my own brain. I can be aware of my own brain. I'm theoretically aware that my brain is here. So then I am aware of the brain. Then the brain is an object to me, the consciousness. But mind is equally an object to me, the consciousness, because mind, thoughts are also objects. You are right now aware of thoughts. Even this question you asked is formulated in the mind. That was also, you're aware of it. So what Vedanta wants to say, you are not the brain, that is, you're not the body. You're not even the mind. You are the awareness to which the mind and the body or brain are appearing. So that is the Vedantic position. But your question was not that. Your question was a little more downstream. What about mind and what about brain? This connection between brain and mind is a more modern scientific development. I don't know how much the ancients, whether in India or in Greece or China, were aware of the importance of the brain. They would often locate the mind and feelings in the heart. In most ancient cultures, heart, they would say. Be that as it may, your question was precisely what is the connection between brain and mind. Materialists will say the brain is producing the mind. The mind is nothing but the brain. It's an activity of the brain. Therefore, mind and also consciousness, according to materialists. When the body dies, brain dies, lights out, no consciousness. None of your fancy Vedanta and all of that, nothing works. It's just physical death is the end of it. If you are a materialist reductionist, if that's their worldview. Why not? As you can imagine, Vedanta will not accept it. For Vedanta, the body is an instrument, a vehicle. In the Kathopanishad, it is said the body is like a chariot. So the body, the nervous system, brain, all part of the chariot. It's more like your car, your SUV. Somebody told me that modern cars have more computers than old fighter planes also. So the brain is like a computer in this car, in your chariot. So the brain and the nervous system and the body are like instruments for the mind. And even the mind is not our real nature. The mind is also like a vehicle. So we have two vehicles, Sthula, Sukshma, gross or physical, and a subtle. The physical vehicle is this body. It dies at death. Physical death, this body is destroyed. But according to Vedanta, not just Vedanta, in fact, all religions, the mind, it continues after the death of this body. According to all religions, one common characteristic of any religion, in fact, it's a defining characteristic of something to be a religion, that something survives of you after death. If that system of thought does not accept that, then it's not a religion. It becomes some kind of materialism. So religion states that mind cannot be reducible to the brain. Mind is not reducible to the brain. The collection of articles, The Irreducible Mind, big book with big articles, Irreducible Mind. Why mind cannot be reduced to brain? What we have found so far is a tight correlation between mental activities and brain function. So neuronal activities in the brain have been tightly correlated with reported, sensations, thoughts, memories, and all of that, activities of the mind. But is the brain producing mind? Materialists will say yes. The question there is how? How? All you can see in the brain is minute electrical activity, the final that you can see. Can you see a thought? Can you see an emotion? Can you even see a memory? So no, we have located the memory is here, but you have located chemicals, you have located electrical activity, you have located the physical basis like the neurons. Where is the memory there? So the memory, thoughts, emotions, ideas, memories, feelings, perceptions, which is what we are all experiencing. This data cannot be ignored because we all have it. This is called mind. This is called mind and consciousness. How is a physical brain producing that? They cannot explain. This is called the explanatory gap. Explanatory gap. Vedanta says brain is not producing the mind. The mind functions through the brain, but the mind pre-exists before the brain is created, born, developed. And after the brain dies also, nervous system is dead, the mind continues. It goes back into a seed form, it will go into a new vehicle, a new body, a new birth. That's what's called reincarnation. And consciousness is even beyond the mind. It's neither the brain nor the mind. Mind and brain are both like vehicles for consciousness. A very rough idea would be the body is like the computer you're using, like this laptop. The mind is like the software and the data and software in that laptop. And you, the consciousness, was separate from this laptop and the data also. Consciousness or Atman is like that, like the user. A very rough example, not a good example. So this laptop might be destroyed. At one time it will be gone. But if the data is uploaded to the cloud, the data will still be there. So the data and the laptop are not the same thing. Mind and brain are not the same thing. The brain may go away. Data will not function until you download it into a new laptop, a new body with new brain. Then it will start functioning again. But you, the user, you are distinct from both. You are not even the laptop, not the data. The laptop is like the physical body and brain. The data is like the mind. Again, not a good example. But you, the Atman, the user, the one being sentience itself, is utterly different from all of them. This is not just Vedanta, even this is Nyaya, Sankhya, all these philosophies, they hold this to be true. Yes. Please go ahead. Whoever has the mic, go ahead.
Namaste, Swami Chief, and thank you for this. I've been listening to you.
Tell us your name.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Ken Foster.
Ken.
I've been listening to your talks on YouTube for almost every day for a year now. One of the themes that comes up frequently, and I think it relates to these last two questions, the three states of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep.
Deep sleep.
So the phrase deep sleep is not the absence of awareness, it's the awareness of absence.
Yes.
I love that statement. It's poetic, it's thought-provoking,
I thought I came up with it until I saw Rupert Spira's use it. Yes.
But it's beautiful and it's inspiring, but there's also something about it that perplexes me, and I'm hoping you can help me with that.
Yes.
So it seems I love the idea that's the awareness of absence, but it seems like it's predicated on waking up again. Like if we're in a coma forever or we die, then is there awareness? And I know that blankness is not consciousness. It's another object, but there seems to be a gap there, like a miracle gap.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if you can maybe help me with that perplexity.
And it's important to focus on that gap. Why? See, right now, all our experiences are mediated through the mind. Yes, I am consciousness, Vedanta says, but all our experiences are consciousness plus mind, plus senses and objects. That's called waking. Minus the senses and objects, just mind and consciousness, that's called dreaming. But whatever we consider as an experience is this waking world and the dream world. The moment mind shuts down, deep sleep, anesthesia, maybe coma. Coma, it's a little doubtful. There are multiple types of coma, it seems. In some horrible thought, they are actually awake internally, it seems. No, it's proven because they have afterwards awakened and told us they were aware at that time. Even anesthesia seems to be of various types. Anyway, deep sleep, let's say deep sleep, anesthesia, some types of coma, where the mind has gone to sleep, the mind is shut down. And therefore, from our perspective, when we look back upon that seems to be like nothing at all, blank. Not only that, even to say that I was the witness of that blankness, it seems I have to wake up to be able to say that. And that is true. In order to think about it, reflect about it, and say it, you have to wake up. Because without waking up, neither mind will be active nor speech will be there. It won't be possible. But that does not negate the fact that that blankness was presented to consciousness without the mind. Two problems. One, because it is without the mind, and whatever we think of as experience is basically mind mediated, it looks like no experience at all. It's easy to dismiss it as nothing. That's one problem. The second problem is to even formulate these positions and these arguments, you need the mind again. And so you have to come back to the waking world to formulate it. But none of it obviates or disproves the contention that an absence was presented to awareness. This, what you said, is an important point, because there are philosophers, certain schools of Buddhists, for example, who dispute this, that deep sleep is presented to awareness, is an absence presented to awareness. They say that, hey, you're just back calculating. You're waking up, since you are so addicted to the idea of continuous consciousness. You are waking up and you are saying that, oh, actually I was conscious at that time, the mind was not working, it was blank way of, balancing credit and debit sides of the balance sheet. But it's not true. In deep sleep, no consciousness was there, no object was there, no subject. What was there? Is deep sleep equal to nothing then? There, it's very interesting. The Buddhist will keep quiet. Don't speak. Are you saying no object was there, no subject was there, and there's nothing other than subject and object? So it was nothing, zero, nihil, void in the sense of utter nothingness? The Buddhist will say, no, not that either. What was there, one cannot speak of. That's what the Buddhist will say. The Vedantin says that's what we are saying also. When we use that absence was presented to consciousness, we think of consciousness the way we are thinking of consciousness now, as a subject aware of an object. It's not like that there. And therefore it feels like, no, there was no consciousness there. It's very odd to say that darkness itself is the object and I was the subject. I am sitting even closing my eyes or sitting in a dark room, I have a certain sense of personal subjectivity, experiencing a darkness. That's because the mind is functioning there. Knock out the mind, then what remains? Allied to this would be a question, I would say an even more subtle question, is, so therefore, does consciousness need an object to become aware of itself? When I am using consciousness to become aware of objects, what is happening? Two things are happening. One is, it's like light. Light manifests all objects. Light illumines all objects. Light illumines all objects. Without light, everything would be in darkness. So when you switch on a light, it illumines all objects. That's what light does for objects. But what do objects do for the light? Objects manifest the light. Suppose there were no objects and light is streaming through, say, outer space. What does it look like? Darkness. The moment a comet goes through that, the comet is lit up, blazing. Does the comet carry its own internal light? Not at all. There is light streaming from the sun, pervading the space, but it looks dark because there's nothing for the light to be reflected on. The moment the comet passes through it, you see the blazing tail of the comet because it's now reflecting the existing light. Light was already there. Have you seen satellites go in just after sunset in the evening, in twilight? It looks like darkness, but suddenly you see twinkling satellites going past. What's happening? There is actually light there. The earth has fallen into darkness. The sun has gone over the horizon, but light is there. It just takes an object to reflect that light. So the light illumines the object, but the object manifests the pre-existing light, without which the light would look like darkness. So objects in our consciousness, what does consciousness do? We become aware of objects. Consciousness gives us experience of the objects. But what do the objects do for consciousness? They manifest the consciousness. It becomes a conscious experience. We become aware of ourselves as consciousness. Because my consciousness illumines this object. I know the book. But then, secondarily, I also know myself as knowing the book. Without the book, without any object at all, there would be nothing to know, but would I also know that I exist? This is the deep question. So, two levels of answer. What is the answer, Vedantic answer to that question? If you appreciate that question also requires understanding of yourself as awareness. Then the question will become important. The Vedantic answer to that question is at two levels. One level is what I gave you, that consciousness illumines, reveals all objects, and simultaneously the objects manifest you as consciousness. Then the question will arise, so consciousness depends on the objects for in some way at least. That would be the Sankhyan position. The Sankhyan position is there is consciousness and there is material nature. Prakriti, Purusha and Prakriti. And they depend on each other. But the Advaitic position is that material nature is nothing other than that Purusha, other than consciousness. That's what we studied today. The whole of this universe is your radiance. Since the material nature, even the objects are nothing but the radiance. The light and object example breaks down here. But the light is not the object. There is a book and there is a light. But the light is not the book. But here we are saying you, the consciousness, are the objects also, like in a dream. So, when the objects manifest you as consciousness, it's not that you, the consciousness, depends on those objects. Rather, those objects depend on you. They depend on you for their very existence. That's one answer. The second and the deeper answer, the subtler answer, for this, I'm borrowing this from a Vedantin called Atmananda Krishna Menon. He lived in Kerala and 1950s, 60s, he was teaching at that time. He says, those who think that consciousness depends upon the objects for its manifestation have not understood. It does not even depend on the objects. Even whether the objects are independent like Sankhya or the objects are an appearance of consciousness itself like Vedanta, in either case, consciousness is self-luminous. Even without objects, consciousness is self-revealing. How? It's a very subtle matter. You certainly need the world, the body, speech, and mind to say, I exist. You at least need the mind to think, I exist. But even without saying, I exist, even without thinking, I exist, do you exist or not exist? And is that existence a dark existence, unrevealed existence? That's the question. Vedanta says if you ponder on the nature of consciousness, you will see in a very subtle way consciousness is continuously self-revealed. It really does not require an object. You don't really require the universe or its objects or the body or speech or mind. But yes, it becomes much more manifest, much more objectified with the mind, with speech, with body, and with the universe. We're talking about things at the edge of language and thought. So I don't know how to make it more clear than that.
That was very clear. Thank you so much. I sometimes, with the Ananda, Satchit Ananda,
Yes.
there's another, like, that's kind of what the awareness of absence is. And I used to think that when I wake up in the morning, go, oh my gosh, I'm awake again. It's because I was lazy, but maybe it's because I was in Sitchat Ananda.
Yes.
But thank you. Namaste.
Yes. And from an Advaitic perspective, I am in deep peace, in deep sleep. And when I wake up into a dream or this waking world, say to yourself, not one bit has changed. What I was in deep sleep, in deep samadhi, here in the midst of samsara with this body and all of issues, whatever is going on, Not one bit has changed. It's exactly the same. Just looks like this. And then you'll enjoy uninterrupted peace. Yeah. Literally, the Bible says, peace that passeth understanding. How deep that statement runs. Yes.
Namaste.
Yes. Tell us your name and answer.
First of all, I'm sorry I'm late today. My
Don't
apologies.
worry, you haven't missed anything. It's always the same thing. There's no new news. It's the same old news. You are Atman, you are pure consciousness.
My name is Ravi.
Yes.
I have one confusion to clear. We talk about awareness and consciousness a lot. Are they two distinct things or are they related?
We talk about awareness and consciousness. It's a good question because language can cause all sorts of confusions, and it does. We talk about awareness and consciousness a lot. The reason being, these are the only words available to us. Awareness or consciousness. Neither of them is the right word. When he says bodho aham bodh, I am consciousness, I'm translating it as consciousness. I'm translating it as awareness. That's the closest I can get. But if you look at the dictionary, what is actually meant by awareness or consciousness in the dictionary, in common parlance, or what is meant by consciousness or awareness in consciousness studies technically, neither of them is what we are talking about. But that's the closest we can get. What we are talking about, there is no term in English right now. The closest we can get is something like pure consciousness, bare awareness. Okay, having said that, one more point. Consciousness and awareness, are they the same thing? One is, what is normally meant when we talk about consciousness outside Vedanta, in the world outside, when we talk about consciousness? What is meant by is seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, thinking, remembering, enjoying, suffering, waking, dreaming. This is what is meant by consciousness. Vedanta will say you are not distinguishing between the activities of the mind and consciousness there. You're talking about consciousness plus mind, plus senses. Vedanta makes more finer distinctions to come to bare consciousness. Now, the problem is this consciousness, we talk, we think, we enjoy, we suffer, we desire, we remember. This is consciousness. This is the way we use consciousness. This consciousness disappears when we fall asleep. This consciousness disappears when anesthetized in anesthesia. This consciousness disappears at least temporarily when we die. Physical body dies. But the consciousness we are talking about is Bodha, Chaitanya. It's not the same thing. It does not disappear when we fall asleep. It does not disappear when we are anesthetized. It does not disappear when we die. It's exactly the same in all circumstances. Now, entirely different, our day-to-day consciousness and this pure consciousness. Are they entirely different? Or what is the relationship? They are not entirely different. They are related. Pure consciousness and our so-called consciousness, our usual way of understanding consciousness / awareness, they are related as sunlight and moonlight. Good example. Sunlight is what we are calling pure consciousness. But at night, now, the moon is shining and the moon reveals the earth in darkness. It is moonlight which illumines the world. But the moonlight and sunlight are not separate. In fact, the moonlight is the sunlight, or sunlight is the moonlight. It requires a reflector called the moon. Not that the moon is not necessary. Without the moon, there will be no moonlight. But the moonlight is literally the sunlight. Now, how am I using this example? Take the sunlight, the sun of the sunlight to be the Atman, pure consciousness. Take the moon to be the mind, and moonlight to be the reflected consciousness, or what consciousness or awareness means in day-to-day parlance. Notice, just like the day-to-day, moonlight also goes through phases. There's more moonlight, less moonlight. The moon goes through phases, and sometimes new moon, no moonlight is there. Sometimes full moon. Similarly, our day-to-day awareness. Sometimes we are fully alert, especially after a cup of coffee. Very, very alert. full moon, sometimes little half moon, especially after long Vedanta lecture. Sometimes new moon, dark, when you fall asleep. But the sun, the Atman, pure consciousness is ever shining. This is the distinction. Right now, it does not seem clear because we do not have any clear grasp on what that pure consciousness might be. It seems theoretical to us. Just like somebody looking up into the night sky and sees the moon. Moon seems clear. Moonlight seems clear. And in the moonlight, the earth seems clear. But the sun seems theoretical. But if the sun were not there, moonlight would not be there. And I love this cartoon I saw once. Do you know this story about vampires? So they always avoid sunlight. They'll burn up if they always go into a coffin and sleep in daytime. At night they will come out and bite and suck blood. So the cartoon is there. Vampire has come with specially pointed teeth and is threatening a scientist who's standing there, coming to bite. And it's dark. It's night, but there's a full moon in the sky, and it's all like. And the vampire is coming like this in the moonlight. And the scientist is telling the vampire, "Sir, you know that the moonlight is the sunlight?" And the vampire starts burning up. So I found it very Vedantic. The only problem there was ignorance. Once the ignorance was removed, the effect followed immediately.
My name is Devashish Chatterjee.
Speak into the microphone. Yes, it's on.
My name is Devashish Chatterjee. So, teeth cannot bite itself.
Yes.
Finger cannot touch itself.
I mean, yeah, upper teeth can bite the lower teeth. Yeah, but it still cannot bite itself. Yeah.
So when the object and the seeing is all appearing at the same time.
You speak in microphone.
Object and the seeing is appearing at the same time. One cannot exist without the other. And then the I thought comes up later, much later. I'm doing, I'm seeing everything, and I am doing.
Yes.
And that's where the contraction in the body comes.
Yes, all of it correct. Yes.
Then one look at his own experience, the body, the mind. It could be genetical memory, or could be conditional memory. All this goes away, and then the prana. Since childhood, we have thought that there is a prana, which is ourself, but actually it's not. It's just the energy through breath, right? And then it goes into the dark, the black dark.
You mean deep sleep?
Not necessarily deep sleep. The black dark. And then the vibration. So what is that? Because string theory also talks about the vibration.
Yeah, we will not go into that because it's very esoteric stuff. I'm not a physicist. I'm very careful to avoid reference to areas of science which I am not a specialist. I'm far from my science is at a schoolboy level. So,
Okay.
and I have friends who are cutting edge scientists, mathematicians, people who whose work is being used for string theory, who are pure mathematicians. So if I start talking about string theory, I'll be laughed out. They will be furious with me. So, no, I really don't know anything about that. Yes. What you're talking about is we can relate to it at the Pancha Kosha level.
Yeah.
The 5 sheets of the human personality. Right now, if you look at ourselves, very obviously there's the body. This is the food sheet, Annamaya. Now, if you look a little more subtly, you breathe in, breathe out. The breath in the body, which is the tip, like the tip of the Everest. It's a tip of a huge system called the Pranamaya, the vitality which keeps this body a living body. Includes assimilation of food, includes respiration, blood circulation, so many other things. All of it is surcharged with prana, life forces, vitality. In Hinduism, in Sanskrit, it's called prana. In China, it is called chi. In Japan, it's called ki. In the Greeks, called it pneuma. N-P-N-E-U-M-A. So breath, basically, breath is only the physical manifestation, but it's prana. If you look further within means not physically within, in our own experience, more subtle than prana, is thoughts, emotions, feelings. More subtle than that is our intellect, higher mind, the intellect, the understanding, which we are using here also. Now, suppose you shut down all of it. No experience of the world, no experience of the body, no experience of the prana, no thoughts are coming and going. The mind is still, the buddhi is still. You'll come to a darkness. And since there's a whole theory of mantras which says everything proceeds, even beyond the darkness, there is an original vibration from which everything proceeds. There's also called anahata nada, the unstruck sound. Every sound is struck. You strike, sound comes. Sound. But in Zen, they ask this koan, what is the sound of one hand clapping? The unstruck anahata. Ahata means to be hit, to hit, and that produces a sound. But without striking, the vibration without vibrating, that is it's sort of mystical. Beyond that is the consciousness to which all of them are appearing. So what you said is a very good meditation practice actually. To start with an awareness of the body, then slowly transfer awareness to the breath, be aware of it for 3 or 10 breaths, then awareness of thoughts and feelings rising and falling, then the intellect, activity of the intellect, then silence everything, become aware of the quietness, darkness. Then you will become aware sometimes of if it's a quiet place. It's a bit like, have you heard of tinnitus? It's like a sound. A little bit you can become aware. You don't know what's the whether it's a physical sound or just the mind itself. It's that at that plane. But even that is an object, because that's also experienced, and you are the witness of that. It's a good object for meditation, yes.
So Ekamkara, the Sikhism call about Ekamkara.
Ek Omkara, one Omkara, yes.
So that also referring to that.
Referring to the one consciousness. But Vedanta is talking about, Sikhism is also talking about that same thing. Ek Omkara. Ultimate reality in Sikhism is one Omkara. But the Omkara points to something beyond Omkara, which is the silence. The Omkara itself is vibration. Ma, sound. Look at this beautiful song which we heard. Ram Niranjan Nyarare, Anjan Sakala Pashelare. What is Anjan? What is that within the realm of Maya? It says Omkara. Om, it says Om. Even Om is within the realm of Maya. Om is within the realm of Maya, but the silence beyond Om, that points to pure consciousness. And the meaning of Ek Omkar is, actual meaning is that one only. Yes. It's working.
Can you hear me? Yes, Namaste Swamiji. My name is Sonali. I just have a couple of points related to what Ken was asking.
Yes.
One was about the deep sleep experience, when we say it's an experience of absence. Can we say that because the subtle body is not present, but the causal body is present, since in the Advaitic paradigm, you talk about causal body, then we could say that pure consciousness is reflected in the causal body. And that gives us the experience of the deep rest and relaxation that we get. Although you're right, we can only verbalize that experience upon waking up. But
yes. Now, the causal body, subtle body is the causal body. It's the seed form of the subtle body is the causal body. Otherwise, you cannot explain, first of all, how does it come back again. So it's not that the subtle body is destroyed. It's still there. And it will come back again. It will become active again. Second thing is, how do we even have memory of deep sleep? Because memory depends on the mind. Memory is part of the mind. If the mind is not active, how did the memory register that absence, that complete, you say, I knew nothing. But how did you know that you knew nothing? If the deep sleep period was an utter absence, we would feel that I was awake, fell asleep, I dreamt, and now I'm awake again. In between, there was nothing. We would never say that. We say it because it's an experience. It's not even an inference. Some people say that, no, it's an inference. I was awake, I had many experiences, I fell asleep, I dreamt some dreams, and in between there was a gap. Now I'm inferring that that gap was deep sleep after waking up. That's not true, because nobody goes through a logical inference process after getting up. Right after getting up, do I infer? So there was a gap. Then I must have been asleep. No, we don't. We just feel I was asleep. I rested so well. Deep sleep, very peaceful, nothing. And some dreams were there. So deep sleep is an experience. But what kind of experience? Clearly not a mind-mediated experience. Because a mind-mediated experience will always generate memories like, I saw it, I heard it, now I am remembering it. But deep sleep is not like that. We don't say, I was in deep sleep, now I am remembering it. No, neither is true. I don't have a direct mental first-person present tense experience of deep. If you do that, then you're not in deep sleep. So mind is shut down, no doubt about it. Even the so-called memory of deep sleep is not really a memory. The memory is of the form, I saw that person, now I am remembering that person. We never have the memory of, I was sleeping, now I am remembering sleeping. No. It's just a feeling, an intuition that there was deep nothingness and peace. How? Vedanta Sara gives us this answer. There's an answer that Ati Sukshma bhi ajnana vritti bhi, by the utterly subtle modifications of ignorance. What does it mean? Deep sleep, causal body, another name for that is ignorance, ajnana. Now, the interesting thing is that ignorance is dynamic. Ignorance is made of sattva, rajas, tamas, and they are continuously vibrating. That vibration is just spoke about. And they're continuously vibrating. That which is dynamic can do something, it can register something. So the theory is a theory. It registers the absence of experience there, the experience of absence, let us say. It registers that absence there. No other details, no subject object there. As we wake up, that comes up and I say, I slept happily. Now there's an interesting implication, footnote to this. This is a fault line in Maya, a little secret escape route in Maya. What is that? When we wake up and I say, I slept happily, it's false. The I which says I slept happily, it says, no, I was awake, true. I dreamt, true. But I slept happily, that is not true. There was deep sleep, that part is true. But this I, which is claiming I slept happily, was not there. Then what was there? That is the fault line in Maya. What Maya does is, the moment you wake up, this I claims the deep sleep. But the deep sleep does not belong to the I. It was asleep. Then who watched it? Who watches the sleeping of the I? Who watches the waking of the I? Who watches the dreaming of the I? Yes. Let's wrap it up now. Time for Arati. Yes. Thank you very much. That was a good Q&A session.
Thank you, Maharaj. As always, we will take a very, very short break, 2-3 minutes, but not more than 5 minutes. We will start with Arati.
So I had a question, but it was too quick. So
Yeah.
you said pain is as a feeling we studied, right? But you said it's an object, right? A person, a person may feel a pain. The same other person may have like higher understanding.
Yes.
Right. It